Got another video for you guys. I've had quite a few questions this morning from new people that are on the page, and some of the stuff they ask me is, as a new person, how important is it to stay away from sweeteners? By all means, this is not a one-size-fits-all, but at the same time, I've been doing this for quite a while, and I have thousands of people on my Facebook group, and statistically what I see, and looking in other groups as well, what I see is people that consume a lot of bulletproof coffee in the beginning. Yes, it does help get into ketosis, but at the same time, it does slow down a lot of the fat loss process. People that start getting hooked on keto breads and keto sweets and using erythritol and xylitol and malitol and trying to make things as comfortable as possible for them because they're coming from an old lifestyle into a cleaner lifestyle, you're inhibiting a lot of the things that keto does for you. Keto is a very anti-inflammatory diet. It's a very medical-based diet. It fixes your gut. It does a number of things. It performs miracles with people that have epilepsy. So you're taking something that's supposed to be very clean-based, and you're adding a lot of the artificial mimicking stuff from the standard American diet into it, and then you're expecting miracles to happen. Your body interprets a lot of the artificial stuff the same as it does the stuff you did before. So the most important thing here is to not try to indulge in that stuff if you don't have to. One of the things that I hear the most when doctors talk about things is drinking your fats. It's something that I've always been against. I did do bulletproof coffee in the beginning. I even made a few videos about it, but I since went back and deleted those videos. I seen that a lot of the stuff people are putting out is not necessary. Now, bulletproof coffee in itself, if you did like a tablespoon of butter and maybe just a little bit of almond milk, or just a very, very quarter teaspoon, just enough to change the color of heavy whipping cream, I can see that being fine, and maybe blend it up so you don't taste the flat oil on the top. But when you start adding 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, 2 tablespoons of MCT oil, and then you're squirting a bunch of stevia and stuff in it, come on guys, that's not what you're trying to do here. That's not the goal here. What bulletproof coffee was simply made for, in my opinion, was to aid people in getting all the extra fat in. Now, somebody says, Rich, I'm just not hungry. I've met my protein and my carbs for the day, but what about the fat? I'm 40 grams short. Well, don't eat. Your body's going to tell you what to do before you do it. If you got fat on your booty to burn, you don't need the extra fat. Now, at the same time, realize getting the proper amount of fat in your body daily is going to aid in vitamin absorption. Your fat that you take in dietary is your driver for absorbing vitamins A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. But your body is always going to trump what you think is right. So if you're just like, I'm not hungry, I've pretty much got my protein, I'm a couple grams over, or I'm a couple grams short, my carbs aren't even close, but I'm 50 grams short on fat, I just cannot eat. You're done. Don't eat. Bottom line. But if you're like, man, I'm kind of hungry still, and I've already met my protein, or I'm pretty close to it, what am I going to do? Well, you could have a couple pieces of bacon and go a little bit over on protein, not a big deal. You can go take a tablespoon or 2, like 1 tablespoon of coconut oil is like 14 grams of fat-ish. And you could throw, if you had just a little bit of extra peanut butter, like an organic Walmart peanut butter that only has 1 gram of carb per 2 tablespoons, have one of those to make up for your extra fat. Have maybe 2 of them to make up for your extra fat. That's completely acceptable. Now, that's just my opinion on how to do it. Sometimes people come to me and they're like, I'm chasing this for medical issues, and I'm doing keto because I have a medical problem. By all means, the best situation there, if you're not in it to lose weight and it's more medical based, is to try to hit your macros as best as you can. Now, realize the whole reason behind you having this higher level of fat is you're trying to control your appetite so you don't go back to the things that you did before. A lot of people will do an Atkins style diet where it has a high level of protein but low fat, but protein doesn't pull your appetite down like fat does. So be very careful on what style you pick. You can pick a phenivolic style that you'll lose weight like right out the door. Your metabolism is going to be sped up, you're going to get really strong off of it, but you may end up being hungry more often. If you do the standard style where it's 75% fat, 20% protein, and only 5% carbohydrates, you're going to pull your appetite down. You're not going to get as much protein in, but at the same time, you're going to lose weight slower over a longer period of time, aiding yourself in a number of things. Proper skin retraction. A lot of people will take extra supplements like collagen and stuff for their hair, for their nails, for their elasticity of their skin. Now, if you eat a pretty good source of meat often, not every day, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I would say some kind of meat each day in small portions, you're getting plenty of collagen that's coming from the meat. You don't have to add extra collagen in. Now, I was one of those people that told people in the beginning that you should have that because I started believing what everybody else did. But then when I actually started pulling it out and looking into doctors like Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Eric Westman, Dr. Berg, I started realizing, wait, all that extra stuff is not necessary. It's just people trying to market things, and in some cases it helps, but the majority of the time it doesn't. So, as a new person, you ask now, which macro is the most important to hit? Protein. Try to get as close to as you can. Do not go over if you don't have to, but if you do go over a little bit, don't worry about it. If your fat is short, 30 grams, 40 grams, and you're not hungry, don't worry about it. If you go 10 grams over, don't worry about it. You're in this to win it. You're not in this to be stressed out. And trust me when I tell you this, and I take this to the grave, if you're more stressed out about what you're eating than listening to your body, and it says that I'm full, but I'm a little deficient in protein, I'm a little deficient in fat, you're going to do more damage by being stressed out about it than saying, hey, my body's right, I don't want no more right now, I can't handle no more right now, I'm done. Then be done. Bottom line, be done. For the first month or two, probably more like 2 or 3 months, honestly, I've heard some of the bigger groups that teach keto as well say the same thing. Even the doctors, it's best to stay away from all the sugar additives and things. You're really going to do yourself no service by having the sugar additives. And for instance, go look up Keto Connect. They talk about macros, they talk about calculating. Even they agree it's 2 to 3 months waiting time. Don't be using sweeteners and stuff in the beginning, and they've been doing this longer than me. They have a huge group, and they tell the new people the same thing. It's just not a good idea in the beginning. And then once you get the hang of things, once you become fat adapted, once you start losing weight and you know what foods and stuff you got to eat, you can indulge sometimes as much as you want, and you'll rebound right back to losing. You might slow down in that little period. Don't have a ton of Halo Top ice cream in the beginning. Don't be using artificial sweetener stuff all the time, not even stevia. In the beginning, I typically try to tell people if you have to do it, if you cannot have that bulletproof coffee without stevia, it's beep, little squirt, that's it. 1 packet of stevia, that's it for the day. You don't need to consume all that extra stuff. So, new people, please be aware. When you come onto a ketogenic diet, you're doing it because you want to change your life. You're not doing it because you want comfort. You're not doing it because you want to feel good. You're doing it because you want a new life. You want to live a new purpose, and you want to be healthy. Focus on that. Let that be your driver, and don't try to be as comfortable as possible because you think that that's going to help. Because the more comfort you want, instead of actually learning this way of eating and changing your eating style, the less effective it's going to be. All right, guys. Thank you, and I hope that's cleared up some things for you. Macros are important, but they're not as important as you think. Dr. Eric Westman, Dr. Ken Berry also say the same thing. Eat to your appetite. Eat to satiate your appetite and control it. Don't eat to stress over macros all the time. I'm currently doing a test right now where I have a group of people doing no eating, or no tracking. It starts on Monday, and I'm doing a group of people that tracks every day. And I have the same similar type of people in both groups, and I want to simply gauge which way works better. So, I'll be looking forward to that in about 4 or 5 weeks, and keto on. Thanks, guys.